This is Stephen with Paranormal Hive. This week's podcast is about alien abductions. So again, I have my son with me, Lee, and let's get into it. Paranormal Hive. Hello.
I'm here. I had to go do something quick. I had to go take a picture of something.
So I thought we'd talk about like alien abductions and UFOs, unless something else comes up.
Repeat yourself again.
I said we'll talk about alien abductions and UFOs, but if anything else pops up, we'll talk about it as well.
All right.
So how's things? Everything going okay?
Yeah. It's cold.
Cold?
It's been raining every day and cold.
It's been a little chilly here, but not too much.
I'm outside all day, wearing a hoodie, wearing a t-shirt. I'm wearing one of them windbreaking jackets.
Nice. And your camera's
and
off.
Gloves.
And gloves. Okay. Your camera froze for a second there.
And gloves, because I'm on a mower.
Yeah.
And I'm speedy quick on it, so then the wind is hurting my hands.
Oh, okay. That sounds interesting.
It's cold.
So let's see. I thought I'd pick alien abductions because if this live didn't go the way it went. Anyway, I was going to record one anyway and then put one up. But since we're doing it live, I just wanted to talk about alien abductions. Have you heard anything? I haven't heard anything recently. I don't think I've heard anything about alien abductions for years.
Probably because they got abducted and never returned.
Possibly. But there have been some pretty interesting cases of alien abductions, and it all seems to have died off around about late 80s, early 90s. Strangely, when mobile phones arrived.
Oh, of course.
So, alien abductions, I know it goes back all the way back to 1950s, I believe. Alien abductions. But that was a time when sci-fi on like aliens from other planets and stuff was really coming into prominence in, I don't know if it was TV, but radios, because you had, War of the Worlds and all that lovely stuff happening. And there were actually two more prominent ones that came into focus. One that really started it all, and I did have it. Let me just get to it so I can get to the names, because I'm terrible at this stuff. It was Betty and Barney Hill. So they were the ones that kind of really started it all off with these with the abduction cases, and that was back in 1961. They had seen, yes, Robin, I just seen a text for that. Yes, carry your phone with you. So they would.
You carry your phone with you. Hold up. Carry your phone with you. Zoom in super close. Have it all pixelated, and then have everyone question on what you're videoing.
That's how it goes. That's how it goes every single time.
Every time.
Yeah. So these two, back in 1961, they were driving back from somewhere, and then they seen these lights. They went and to take photographs or something, and then they had lost time. So abductions can come down to a few things in this case. So it can either be hallucinations and just a mental blockage, I guess. I don't know. I'm not a psychologist, so I wouldn't really know. But they had detailed reports and drawings, and there was a TV show that was made of them. as well in the 1970s, I believe it was. And then the other biggest one was the Travis Walton case, with him being abducted and his friends being accused of murder, and then he reappeared out of nowhere and then claimed that he was abducted by these aliens. So, but nothing really of prominence really from then, I guess. I haven't heard anything. I've tried looking online and I haven't seen anything. So it seems that these abductions kind of like faded off and stopped. I don't know if that's the case.
They no longer need. They thought humans are stupid. We can't find nothing, so fuck it.
Right. It's like, no, forget it. Don't get these guys. Brainless. Look what they do into the planet, for one.
Yeah.
So the other things with abduction is that some people claimed to have been given a message for all humanity. And then there are reports of other experiments being done, females being impregnated, those type of things going on. There are videos online of abductees under hypnotherapy, and they saying what's happened to them when they were abducted. So whether those are real or not, that's up for debate as well. I'm not discounting the people that may have been abducted by them, but there could be other factors going behind it. So what are your thoughts on it? What do you think abduction is?
I remember seeing one video of this old guy telling the story of him being abducted, but I can't remember how long ago it was or what exactly that he was talking about, but I can picture it. I don't know. All we know is just what people are saying in it. The story.
Pretty much.
They gotta know, it's like these time traveling people. All they're doing is telling us what's going to happen, but they're not showing us any proof of it.
They're not showing any proof. There's like no proof.
But then you hear people talking about being abducted by the Greys or something.
Right.
And then they said that they did this, and that, and the other thing. We back home. What do they do to you? If they said that we left, what are they abducting people for, anyways?
Experiments.
They must leave some sort. Right. So they must have a mark on them somewhere, right?
Yeah.
But they never show us.
Well, there have been reports and there are photographs of these abductees who claim to have been abducted, and they've had these markings on them. There's usually some have three dots in a triangle.
Yeah, I've seen that.
And there are some, and there was one, there's probably more than one case, but one case that I can remember is that a guy claimed that he had something under his skin that these aliens had put there, like a chip
or something?
Like a chip, yeah. And that was before any of these, microchips that you could put under your skin type of thing was a reality. And when they did remove it, and it was some type of chip. So, but that was years ago when I read that and seen the photos of that, and I don't know what that would come under. Whether they said they don't know where it came from, but it is that. So there are photographs, but how many of those are actually the real thing or not is another thing.
What would you think? You see the people that they said that they have three dots in a triangle. What do you think that would be? What exactly is that? Because it's not exactly a typical scar you would get from surgery or anything.
Right. Yeah.
So what exactly is that?
I don't know. I don't know what would actually cause that to happen. unless they've fallen asleep on something, it's because these red dots. Well, I haven't had these before, but now I got these dots on me. So I don't know what would really cause that, unless they have actually been abducted. It's the same type of thing as when you go to a haunted location, I guess, and people claim they've been scratched.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they don't know how they got scratched, but the scratch is there. And some may just happen right there in front of you. But, is it that type of thing? Are they doing it to themselves? Well, but if they're doing it to themselves, then what are they gaining? But they're not really gaining anything unless people think they're crazy.
The three dots in a triangle, the people that say that they have these, where exactly on the body is it? Is it like Matrix style in the back of the neck? Because if it was, then I'm thinking it's some kind of thing that knocks you out, and then you're just kind of laying there, and then they do their business, whatever it is.
I don't think there's any specific area, really. It's like either on the torso, could be on the leg or an arm. It's a strange thing, really. Yeah, but it's like these extraterrestrials could be possibly abducting people, don't really do anything to them, but yet there have been reports of cattle mutilations and no explanation how it's happened. So if these animals are being abducted as well, what are they doing? They're just stripping the cattle for meat? But not do it to humans? I don't know. This is really weird.
Yeah, it is strange.
So you got all these cattle that are mutilated, precision
it's always
cuts.
Cows too, isn't it?
Yeah, a good majority are cows. Yeah, it's like the precision.
Never anything else.
Yeah, precisely cut. Certain organs have been removed, and there may be like more than one. Could be several, like that in the field. It's like, what could possibly cause that to happen?
They take one cow, they take, I don't know, a liver, right? Then they take another cow and they take intestines. Why not just take the whole freaking cow? Why you gotta be taking a bunch of cows, taking each body part from it?
Right. And the other thing that falls under that cattle mutilation could be the chupacabra that doing these type of things. That was another report of this, all things happening at the same time. But the other thing that was happening during all this abductions and cattle mutilations are crop circles. Robin mentioned that too. But the crop circles is another one. Like, I know a lot of these crop circles, when they did first appear, were man-made. They were fakes. Quite a lot of them were, and a couple of people did come forward and say, "Yeah, we created them once," but that doesn't explain how, unless there's a collective group of people that are doing these things. It doesn't really explain a lot of the crop circles that happen. And I remember years ago when I was in my 20s or late teens, maybe, I was getting the like UFO magazines and stuff. And in one of them, I actually remember watching it on TV too, because it was on television about it. Like one of the crop circles that would happen, they'd set up cameras in this field and they captured the crop circle being made with this, and there was this light, like an orb, flying around. It wasn't a video; it was like photo stills, but there was this light, and it was creating these crop circles. So I don't know if those were doctored photos or not. I don't think they were, but I don't know what those lights were, but there's been other reports in other countries of the same thing happening with that. So could abductions happen with those type of things going on as well? But it's I don't know. I haven't heard it. Like I said, I haven't heard anything about alien abductions. So unless somebody is going to be watching this, like, oh yeah, I've heard something recently on this, but I've looked and I didn't find anything on it. But it seems like I said, going back late 80s, 90s, that alien abduction thing seems to have eased off. So I'm wondering whether that's because maybe mid 90s. I'm wondering if mobile phones has a lot to do with it now, though, because nearly every human on the planet has a mobile phone of some sort. So they could technically video their abductions, but then it'd be like, could it be CGI now? Because CGI has gotten so good now compared to what it has been, that sometimes people can be fooled by CGI and actual footage. There was a video, I don't know if you've seen it, I think it was filmed back in 2020, and there's a guy, it looks like he's on his porch and he's talking to an alien outside, like a full figure alien outside. It's in black and white. Security footage. It looks genuine. It's fake. It's CGI, but it's really good. And
yeah, no, I haven't seen that.
That's pretty good. I'm not sure what it's called. I did actually have it up. I don't know if I'll be able to pull it up so you could see it. Give me 1 second. I don't know if I'll be able to pull it up so you can see it, but give me 1 moment. No, but recently there's been a lot of stuff to do with UFOs in the news. You got the Tic Tac one. So it has become more prominent, and the military have kind of changed it from UFO to that UAP. Oh, where is it? If I can find it, I'll try and put it up on the screen. But like I said, I don't know if you'll be able to see it or not. I can't find it now. Oh, there it is. Alright, let me see if I can do this. Oh, if I can. Go to my apps. Where would it be? Oh, now it's crashed. It didn't like it. Alright. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see that?
Yep.
So that made the rounds, I don't know, like a year and a half, maybe 2 years. I think it was around about 2020. And people like,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it convinced a lot of people, but it was CGI. And there was a really good video actually a few weeks ago. It's kind of released, but it had no abductions, of course.
Of course.
No, because that kind of stopped. There's this footage of a plane, and I think it's a pilot filming outside, and this object comes flying past really quick. But when they slow it down, it's like a triangle.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm trying to find any type of video that shows, like, crop circles caught on camera kind of thing. But all I'm really seeing is a bunch of people videoing like these two circle orbs just circling around.
Yeah, there's usually just like a picture of an orb going around in some type of field.
Yeah.
And saying, this is what's causing it.
Yeah, and then I see a video here, it's about 5 minutes long. It says, farmer is left convinced overnight crop circles was caught on CCTV camera. But I watched a little preview of it, and it doesn't really show you anything other than a light going across his yard, but you don't see an orb. You know what I mean?
Right.
You don't see anything.
Yeah.
It's just a light. So that means nothing to me at all.
So if you've noticed that, out of all the technology, these cameras and the phones have gotten really good now. And yet, there's like bad footage of stuff.
Oh, it's always shit. It's always crap.
That's the same, like recently for the Loch Ness Monster. Like, the best footage. But it's like almost a mile away. Yeah, and then you can just see something in the water. It's like, well, I can't really see what it is. It could be anything still. So, and that's the same with the UFOs in a lot of stuff. So it's like, I know they move quick, get that. So it's going to be kind of blur, but the cameras in your phones are pretty good now. They'll be able to capture it, even if it's going fast, and you can slow it down.
Yeah, and the camera's always moving a lot.
Yeah, some people don't. Yeah, some people are just like moving the camera around like this. Seeing that, I don't know if they may be standing very still. It's just that they've got it so far zoomed in that every little bit of movement, the camera's picking it up. So it looks like it's just doing all this jerky stuff going on.
Well, I don't have an issue with that. If I zoom in all the way on my phone and I'm standing still,
yeah,
it's still, it ain't moving. I did that today, actually. I mean, I wasn't that far away, but I saw 3 bears today in the wild.
Oh, yeah.
And I zoomed in a little bit to take a picture. I mean, you can't really see, but I was like from here maybe to my door, which is like 10 feet away. Not even that. And I zoomed in a little bit because I was in the truck. And I was keeping very still to have it all, look nice and whatnot. I didn't have an issue with it.
So I think, yeah, maybe
so
you don't. Maybe you don't have shaky hands.
Or Bigfoot. You see, there was a recent picture. Someone took a picture of a Bigfoot, but it's pixely and super zoomed in.
Yeah. See, I think they're so far away, they zoomed it to the max. So when you zoom to the max, it pixelates a little bit, and then it gets really jerky. Even if it doesn't matter how hard you're holding it, little bits of movement will show up really shaky on the camera.
I'm sure they're close to like a wall or something, or like a solid structure where you can just, stick your phone down like this, not move, and then just take a picture. No, we want to be like this.
Yeah. Imagine being abducted. Excuse me, I just got to take a photo of it.
Let me take my camera out first. Hold up. Okay, got it.
Yeah, if you're doing that when I walk into the UFO, the lights, like, oh, there's lights over there in the field. I'm going to video it. It's full zoom. It's a full zoom, it's shaking everywhere. And then gone. It just does this. Ever. Yeah, it just goes black, and then it comes back on, and there's heavy breathing. Person on the floor, camera right next to his face, heavy breathing. I was just abducted.
And then breaking news: the most clear video of a UFO ever found.
Right, but it's still shaky. It's still shaky, and they can't see anything.
Jesus.
No.
It's annoying. It's very annoying.
Yeah. So there's a lot for that alien abduction stuff. Like a lot of specialists say, no, this is all absolute nonsense. These people are not being abducted at all. These are just could be like dreams if they're sleeping. That is, if they're sleeping and they get abducted, they get picked up out of the bed and float out of the window.
Peter Pan style. When he's breaking into people's houses, stealing kids.
Right, kidnapping them, abducting them. Maybe he's an alien.
Is he a good guy? Yeah, that's what I mean. He could be. He doesn't age.
No, doesn't age. Kidnaps other kids.
Another thing. We are thinking of Neverland being like some mysterious island, right?
Right.
Okay. In this new movie, you get that. So what they did is they have, when they're flying to Neverland, they bounce off of Big Ben. This is a good scene. I personally like this part of this movie. They all like right at the clock area, sideways, and they leap off of the clock, and then the clock falls apart. Like it stretches out, and then you go into some wormhole, and then poof, you end up in some kind of Neverland. But you see in the background, once you watch it more, of a planet with rings around it.
Okay, so it's like they've walked or gone from one point to another, somewhere
wormhole.
else. Like a wormhole.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So they landed. So it's got to be in a different planet.
right.
Well, Earth does not have a planet in our solar system that we can physically see with our eyeballs of another planet with a ring around it. You know,
Right.
we can't see that with our eyeballs unless we look through a telescope. That's like how many light years away?
But yeah. So there you go. Maybe that's where the inspiration came from. Alien
Yeah.
abductions. And somebody thought, we'll write a book about that for the
Peter Pan.
kids.
Yeah. Peter Pan's an alien.
Yeah. That's what it is. They're all aliens. Good aliens and bad aliens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Watch, they're gonna make a movie now of Peter Pan being the bad guy because they heard it on here. Every time I come up with a theory, it always seems to come up on the TV.
Go. Why not? It's alternative, isn't it?
But it just happened. Spies. 100%, isn't it?
Spies?
Every time I come up with a theory, right, out of nowhere, and then not a week, maybe it takes a little longer. Eventually, it ends up being on TV or in the movies.
There you go.
Like
maybe you were abducted and they put a plant in you. Yeah, they're gonna put a chip or something in you, implanted something in you. They were like, this guy right here.
He knows what he's doing.
He's going to be a genius. We better keep track on him. And when he comes up with something ridiculous, that's going to be the genius part. He's going to be like, we'll take that.
I'd be so pissed. If I found out that's actually happened, I'd be pissed. Where's my money? Like, shit, what's that show with Nick Groff in it? I'm watching it.
Which one? Deathwalker?
That's the one.
Oh, okay.
How old is that show? Let's find out.
It's probably like, the first series is probably like 3 years old.
Deathwalker.
Yeah. It's probably about 3 years old.
All right.
The first season, anyway, because he's still making them.
Yeah, we're going Wikipedia, people. Don't ask me to give you money. They're gonna ask me, "Hey, you wanna donate?"
Donate.
No, I'm not. All right, 2020.
2020. Okay.
3 years old.
Yeah, so it's like 3 years old. Like
almost 3. It's almost 3 years old.
Yeah.
All right. I had a theory years before this show. All right, that the ghosts are time travel. Like it's a time travel type of thing.
Okay.
Right? Years ago. It was like freaking 10 some odd years ago. I don't know. It was a while. Way before this show. I was like, my thoughts on ghosts is they're not dead, but they are dead. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because if you ask, so if you're doing an investigation and you ask, what year is it? And then there's a few EVPs saying that it's like 19 something or 1845, for example.
Okay.
To them, it is 1845. They don't know they're dead.
Right.
To them, it's 1845. To us, it's obviously 2023. At that point, when you come across something like that and you can communicate with it, there is a wormhole of sorts where two realities lap on top of each other. Mm-hmm. And that's when you can speak to one another. That's why it's so difficult to actually get a hold of someone or something.
So, okay, so they,
not
right, so they would have to be, it'd have to be synchronized at that moment.
Right at that moment for a split second.
Right, right. But it's,
then, you don't hear nothing from it.
Right. So it's kind of like, I understand that theory and that makes sense. Like it's happening at the same time, but at different times. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like that movie Others, I think it's called, with Nicole Kidman, I think is in it, where she's dead. She's in the past. She's dead. And she keeps the curtains closed all the time because the kids have got a condition because of sunlight. So the curtains need to be closed. Every day, the curtains are open and she's blaming the kids for it. But it's not the kids. It's because two time shifts are happening where they're in the past and they think the house is haunted while it's somebody as of like right now that's doing it because they now live in the house. So it could be like that reversal flip. So when people from the past, they could be saying, oh, this house is haunted, and that's recorded because these things are happening. So it could be that, like you said, it's that time flipping.
Overlap. There's an episode of Doctor Who where it was a ghost thing, all right, with what's those two people called? Those two famous people. I always forget their name.
The two famous, but there's a lot of famous people. I have no idea.
Look, you must know what I'm talking about. The couple. You know, they got a museum and everything.
They got a museum and everything? Are you talking about the Warrens?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Ed and Lorraine Warren. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I always forget their names. But there was an episode of Doctor Who with Ed and Lorraine Warren. Not the actual people, of course, but it was the story.
Okay. I don't think I've ever seen that.
Oh, yeah. It's an interesting one. It's pretty cool. So, typically, Doctor Who is like aliens, right?
Yeah, he abducts people all the time.
Yeah, but no one notices because he's a time traveler, isn't it? But anyways, there was an episode of this ghost episode where they were in a house or in a... Yeah, it was a mansion and then there was a bunch of land.
Okay.
And then it was empty in their time. So it was like, for example, it was 2021, right?
Mm-hmm.
Doctor Who time, their time.
Okay.
But then there was like a hot spot in this house where if you look, you see someone walking, but it was someone in the past. And then that episode then would jump from present time to the past, and then that person that was walking across the hallway sees people standing in the hallway watching them as they're walking across the hallway.
Okay. I don't think I've ever seen that episode.
It was an interesting episode. I think it's because you've not really watched the one with the female doctor, have you?
No, I think I only watched like one or two. I don't care whether the doctor is male or female. I really don't care whatsoever.
No, but I think it was one of those episodes.
Right. So, but the problem, I think, with that Who seasons with her is the writing of the script was the issue, not so much of it being a female character. But yeah, he kind of abducts people. He's an alien. He abducting people. Does it all the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He doesn't probe them or anything.
No. He doesn't.
What plan do you want to go to today?
Right.
That's what he says.
Of what era? I think one of the new... I think he time travels in the new one, doesn't he? I think he's going back to the 1960s for one of the episodes.
I don't know. I've not watched Doctor Who in forever.
Yeah, no. I'll watch the new one when it comes out with 14th Doctor, I guess. I'll watch that one. And then forget all about it again.
I like the one episode where it was 3 doctors in one go. The first Doctor, David Tennant, and Matt Smith.
Yeah. That's it, Matt Smith. So that's going to be the new one, isn't it? Matt Smith is not Matt Smith. David Tennant's the one that's coming back, right? For the one-off.
He's supposedly coming back.
Yeah, he's coming back for the one special, and then it's the other guy.
There's another. Right, but here's the other thing. This is my theory on that one. In an episode, if you remember, with David Tennant, where there was 2 realities. Okay. And he made another one of himself from his hand that got cut off.
Oh, I vaguely remember it.
His hand regenerated into a full body of David Tennant, but he's the one that only has one heart.
Okay.
And then the Doctor actually, the other David Tennant has 2 hearts.
Okay.
But David Tennant, the Doctor with the one heart, was staying with Rose. I think it's Rose in an alternate Earth, like a different reality.
Okay.
They had to close that gate because it would have destroyed the universe, so they closed the gate. But I think that doctor that has the one heart, it still has the brains of the doctor, but only has one heart, right? Figured out a way to open back up that gate so it doesn't rupture the universe.
Nice theory. I wonder. We just have to wait until the special to see how that all pans out and how he turned back as the Doctor.
Yeah.
As himself. We'll see. I think I'll watch that one and then don't watch the rest. This is probably what's going to happen because that's what happened the last time.
The specials are usually the best ones.
Yeah. So maybe the effects will be a little better too because of the collaboration with Disney. Let's see.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but in evolution, you know, as a species, we evolve. So we could evolve into something that we wouldn't recognize at some point. So, you know, these going back onto that alien abduction thing, are these people being abducted by humans? These are advanced human beings. We just don't know them as human beings. And could UFOs actually be coming from another planet, or they're already on this planet? Because that was one of my theories at one point, is that they're not even coming from space, they're already here. Because if you watch a lot of these UFOs, they're always above water.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, the oceans are not, you know, completely discovered, are they? We know it's there. We don't know. We know more about space than we do over our own planet, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. But when you see UFOs, they move really quick, and there's never any like loud bangs, there's no sonic bangs, it's just like really quick and quiet and all that stuff. So if they are coming from outer space, I'm sure you would hear something. They could be interdimensional, couldn't they? Could be open these little portal wormhole things coming through, or they could already be on the planet and they just come in from deep within the planet, deep from the sea. Those ones would be like USOs then, the unidentified submerged object. But you don't see anybody like going swimming and then being abducted by aliens, do you?
No.
Oh, must have been eaten by a shark. Although there's the Bermuda Triangle. The reason that people disappearing. So, but there's lots of theories on that. So, could be air pockets knocking things down, a natural happening occurring. Oh, maybe it is massive UFO hiding there, abducting a bunch of people, never to be seen again.
The Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah, that's always fascinated me about the Bermuda Triangle. It's just a weird story on the Bermuda Triangle. You know, objects going in and then never coming back and come back out again, and it doesn't happen all the time. There's no time frame of when that's happening, but there's theories that there's these like air pockets under the seabed pushes up, causing things to happen, with boats disappear. It doesn't really explain planes.
Yeah, I heard that there's like I've read one thing about someone looking for a ship that came down, that, you know, sunk in one location, but then they ended up finding it like a few miles in a different location.
Right.
And they said that there's like a current or something that sucks it all in and then drags it up. And then they ended up finding it like on the edge of the Bermuda Triangle or something. But it went down like miles away other way.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think it's like there's probably natural occurrences for these things, especially for boats. But there have been reports of planes going through there and then disappearing as well. So I don't know how what would come from the sea to the sky, and then for planes to just disappear. I don't know. It's just one of those bizarre mysteries, I guess, when it comes to the Bermuda Triangle. But although we haven't heard anything in years on that either, so has that just stopped now? The Bermuda Triangle's like, that's it, done. We've done no business now. We'll just stop for a while and see what happens. But I haven't seen anything recently. The only thing that's coming up recently is UAPs or UFOs. We're seeing people mistaking things in the sky as UFOs, like blimps.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of those things, huh? I've seen just recently that someone shot something down, but they thought it was a UFO, but then ended up being a weather balloon.
Right. Yeah, the military have done a couple, haven't they, over the last few months?
Yeah.
There's the Chinese spy plane was one. There was one over Alaska, and they didn't know what that one was. And I don't think I heard anything since on that one, what they retrieved or anything. And then there was something last week, I think it was, like very quietly on the news. Well, I heard about it. I didn't read it, but I heard about it. And I don't think there's anything else really. There's plenty of stuff you can find on UAPs. If you just search for it, you probably find a ton. Just because it's more open now. But I think a lot of times they're saying that it's something natural. And the other thing that people are mistaken is the Starlink satellites as well, because they see all these dots in the sky, and it's just the Starlink satellite, the Elon Musk thing.
Yeah.
There's another one. But I will leave it at that. So your thoughts on alien abductions and UFOs, Lee, before we end this, because it's gone on over what I was expecting.
Thoughts on UFOs
or alien abductions?
I don't have any thoughts.
None?
I've not really seen anything about that stuff recently.
Not with abductions. Seen anything? UFOs, or UAPs? Plenty of that stuff going on.
Just if people are seeing UFOs, don't zoom in. Obviously.
Or if you're going to zoom in, use the latest of phones. It's okay. You can focus properly.
Yeah.
What
I would say use a good camera, but who's going to be just casually carrying a massive camera around with them?
The latest phone should be able to pick them up pretty well. As long as you can focus in. Mm-hmm. Like my phone has the Pro mode on it, so you can, adjust settings. The phone's...
Right, but are you really going to have the time to adjust all those settings if there's a UFO right for your face?
Not really, no. Like, even if I just left my phone as it is, without using the Pro mode, and then I zoom in, it's usually a little box on the top right. As long as you can line up that object in there, the phone will do all the focusing and stuff itself. Maybe they can do it that way.
Yeah. Or let me see it by myself.
There you go. Go outside, have a look. See if you can see one.
Oh, that reminds me. I can't say a few months. I say a few months for everything. If it's like 2 years ago, I say a few months. So, Emily and I went to go for a walk up Apple Hill. That's in Connecticut here.
Okay.
There's it's open field, all right? And in the middle of this field, there's like a structure you can climb up and get more of a bigger view of things.
Okay.
It's called Apple Hill because at the top of it, like when you reach the top, it like arches. And then right in the middle, you got that structure you can climb up. So it's kind of like a top of an apple.
Oh, I got you.
But
okay.
Anyway, it was at night. Emily's a little sketched out when it comes to nighttime walks. She gets freaked out.
She might get abducted by aliens.
So I was like, okay, well, I'm trying to keep her calm while I'm walking up this. There's no lights. It's dark. I'm with the light,
Mm-hmm.
So keeping her calm. When we get there, relax a little bit. We're looking around. Nice view. And then there's this like light, like a round. I can't remember what color it was. I think it was white. And I'm looking. Em's looking at it, and we're staring at this thing a good few minutes. It ain't moving. It's just sitting there. It was cloudy, so you don't really see much stars at that time. I was hoping there was going to be a lot of stars. I was kind of hoping it to be a romantic thing, but it was not. She was freaking out the whole time. That's okay. But there was this one light just in the distance, and we're staring at this thing for a good few minutes.
Right.
And then we blink, and it's gone.
That's interesting.
Didn't Didn't
No
even give
planes.
us enough. Nah. Didn't even give enough time to whip a phone out to take a picture or a video of it. Because by the time you reach out down there, get your phone, it's gone.
I remember. Yeah, that's weird. If it's there 1 minute and then gone the next, like really quick.
Yeah, but I'm
You
not
s-
saying it was a UFO. I'm just simply saying I saw something.
Saw something.
I don't know what it was. It
I just
was there 1 second, gone the next.
remember when I was. Oh, I can't say how old I was. Let me think. 18? 19? Anyway, we were living in near a Silvera at the time, and nobody in the house. Mother wasn't there. Nobody was there. Oh, Paul was with me. It was late at night. It was like autumn time, and I went outside. So if you came outside the house, all right, and it was on a hill, and you could see right across over to the mountain. And there wasn't that many houses really around by us. There were houses there, you could see them, but you had a clear view of the mountain at the back there. And it was late one night. It wasn't too late to get, I guess, around about 10, 11 o'clock. Or maybe it was a bit later than that, because I remember it being pretty dark. But anyway, I went outside and I could see from one end, from my left, and I was outside the back, like looking across the mountain way and up towards the valley, up towards the Silvera. I could see a light moving across the mountain, and usually if it's a plane or a helicopter you can hear it, because especially at night you'd be able to hear it because the noise pollution's lower. But I could see a light move across above the mountain. So I ended up calling Paul, who was my brother, and then he came out. And I said, Paul, look at this. And we could watch this object move across the mountain and then stop. And then just move down in between the trees. I was like standing there going, okay, that's a bit weird, because normally we would hear, if it was a helicopter, we'd definitely hear it at night.
Well, sometimes you hear a plane.
Yeah, and this is at night, and you could see the mountain across the way there, so we would definitely hear, propellers or something going on. But anyway, we watched the lights go down, and then we waited a few minutes, and then we could see the light come back up again, and then move, and it just disappeared. So I just stood there looking, okay, that was a bit strange. I have no idea what it was. It just stuck in my head all these years. Because I would definitely hear a helicopter for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Because it would have rebounded, the sound would have rebounded off hills. And plus it was night. No noise pollution. It wasn't a busy road down there anyway. Even during the day, it wasn't like, hectic busy or anything. You would definitely at night hear something like a plane. So I don't know what that is. Stuck in my head all these years. No idea. None. So, unless it was a plane or a helicopter, I doubt it would be a plane, because a plane's not going to go down, I guess, is it? So,
yeah.
I don't know.
I 100% believe that there are aliens.
You do or you don't?
I do.
You do? I can't see how there could not be.
Right,
Honest.
exactly.
Makes no sense for there not to be another life. That could be more advanced.
Yeah.
There you go. We're going to end this now. So it's been over. How long has it been? An hour and 17 minutes?
I don't know.
Aye.
Usually, when you're using the other ones, we can see the time.
Yeah, no,
But
I
on
can.
this, I don't.
I can see it here, but I don't know if that's true or not. So
Oh.
it's probably a little less than that because of when I started it. So I don't know.
Oh. Okay.
All right. So final thought is, you don't know, haven't heard anything about abductions, anything recently, and UFOs. Plenty of that in the news anyway. And that you do believe that it could possibly be other life out there. whether they actually visited or not. Anyway, right.
That's it.
All right, definitely going. Catch you all next week. Thank you for joining Paranormal Live. Okay.
All right, thank you. Bye.
iHeart, Amazon. Bye.
iHeart, Amazon, Spotify. You should do that.